Good day, boxing fans. This one is for you boxing fans in Cape Town, like I am. Saturday at the Cabo Beach Club, Savas from Insane Boxing Promotions is putting on a bumper show of no less than 8 pro fights. It starts at 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon already with a string of amateur fights. And then the main card starts at 7 o'clock in the evening. And that's what I'm talking about, because in the main event, we've got an 8-round middleweight contest that I think promises to be fireworks. It's a fun fight, as people in boxing like to say. Fun for those of us sitting outside of the ring, of course, who don't take the punches. But it will be all action. That Darrin Rossouw taking on the veteran warrior of faith that's based here in Cape Town via Angola, Cristiano and Ndombassy. I think it will be bombs away for as long as it lasts. If you're interested in the breakdown of that fight, then stick around. Cristiano Ndombassy is a substitute, albeit not as late a substitute as he would have been for previous fights in his careers, for an injured Emil Brits, and he's taking on the young up-and-comer Darrin Rossouw. Now, Darrin Rossouw, in his last fight at Emperor's Palace, he lost a split decision to Brandon Tyser, and it was an excellent fight, really all-action stuff. We know Darrin Rossouw is a guy who comes forward, a guy who throws good combinations, and he likes to mix it up. He likes to roll, as Reino Liebenberg likes to say. Now, against Brandon Tyser, it was a close fight. I think Tyser just landed the better shots down the stretch and paced himself better. You could see the experience, but Darrin Rossouw was very right until the end. And one thing we found out about Darrin Rossouw is he can take a step up and compete at a higher level, even though it didn't go his way that night. And he can also take one heck of a shot, because he took some shots there from Brandon Tyser, smack on the button, on the sweet spot, right on the chin. Some of the uppercuts he swallowed there while I was ringside was next level. So we know Darrin Rossouw has got a heck of a chin, and he's going to need it, because on the other corner we've got Cristiano and Ndombassy. Now, a lot of things in boxing is timing, not only the timing of your punches in the ring, but also when you fight somebody. And Cristiano and Ndombassy, I've got a soft spot for him, because when I started doing ringside commentary in the days of Kwese Sports alongside Ade Oladipo, as of course moved on to much better things there at the Zone, we had a heck of a start, and the first fight I called from ringside was him against in a rematch against Johannes Sali. I had 2 terrific fights here in Cape Town. But in the end, time moves on, and if we look at Cristiano and Ndombassy, he's fought the best junior middleweights that South Africa has to offer. You know, Rourke Knapp. And in that fight, he knocked Rourke down 4 times in one round. 3 times actually that was counted. One was ruled a slip. But he looked like he had Rourke all but out. And he was very unfortunate not to win on TKO. There was a 3 knockdown rule in effect that the referee completely forgot about. And Rourke somehow survived and came out of that round and came roaring back the next round, pardon the pun. And Cristiano retired at the end of that round in his corner. But that's a fight that really should have been a TKO victory for him. But what that showed is that Cristiano can crack. We all know that. He's got a hell of a right hand, hell of a left hook. He can crack. And then he had 2 fights with both Brandon Tyser and Shavante Koopman. He went the distance in both those fights, lost quite widely on points. But especially in the Tyser fight, he was there, you know, and he landed some big shots, but it wasn't enough to make Brandon Tyser go down. Now, in his last fight, Cristiano was supposed to get back in the win column. He lost a very lackluster decision to an opponent that really he would have dealt with, I think, easily years ago. And Cristiano Ndombassy, you know what you've got in him. He's flat-footed. He sometimes doesn't cut off the ring well. He doesn't care to box. He's a stalking puncher that goes after his guy, sort of like a spider waiting to catch a fly, and when he catches them, he eats them. So that is what Cristiano Ndombassy is. So if you box him, you're going to be okay, but he's dangerous all the way. Don't lose your concentration. Now, the reason why I think this could be a good fight is because Darrin Rossouw, you know, the smart thing would be to just use his feet, use his hand speed, and just box around Cristiano and Ndombassy. But I know it's not his mentality. I've seen him against Jacques Chikubu Muvud. Sometimes he has lapses of concentration. I think just before he moved to Vuzim Tolove in Joburg, he lost the decision to also nondescript opponents, similar to what Cristiano did to in his last fight. And but then against Brandon Tyser, he showed us when he puts his focus there, when he's in shape, he's going to be a hard guy to beat. Now, this is a question of timing. I think Cristiano is dangerous precisely not so much because of what he does, but because of what Darrin Rossouw likes to do. It's kind of a fight that's up to Darrin Rossouw to lose. If he stands there slugging it out with Cristiano and he takes shots on the chin and he sort of challenges his opponent to hit him like he did against Brandon Tyser in spots, it could be that he just gives Cristiano and Ndombassy that window of opportunity, that only window of opportunity that he needs to win the fight, because in all the other departments Darrin Rossouw should beat him, and that's what makes it interesting. What's going to happen? Cristiano's always got a puncher's chance, especially against an aggressive fighter like Rossouw, but I think he's at the tail end of his career, and sometimes you can have a great chin, but if you've been in wars like his last two fights, especially his last three fights, not the last one, but the two before that, especially against Shavante Koopman, against Brandon Tyser, he went the distance. Those were punishing fights. You know, he took punishment in those fights. And then after a while, your body can't take the punishment so well anymore. But the last thing to leave is always a punch. So I think it's a question of youth versus experience. Somebody who is sort of on the up and up against somebody who is on the way down. It's Darrin Rossouw's fight to lose. You know, if he goes in there and do something stupid, he can end up on his back. But if I see how he took the punches from Brandon Tyser, I think he might get knocked down, but he'll get up again, like the song says. And for me, if I have to put my head on a block here, which I have to do, I think Cristiano and Ndombassy, his time has passed by. And I think Darrin Rossouw, even though he lost his last fight, his time is yet to come. So I think it'll be a cracker of a fight, but I think Rossouw's faster hands, his higher work rate is going to punish Cristiano. He might give Cristiano an opportunity to get some of his big punches off, but my feeling is just youth versus experience. Youth is going to prevail, and I think Darrin Rossouw is going to win this fight by, I think, TKO 5. I think he's going to stop Cristiano and Ndombassy in this 8-rounder, this middleweight 8-rounder. As long as he's in shape, if he brings that form that he brought against Brandon Tyser, he should win this. Then in the main supporting bout, we've got 5-0 prospect, junior featherweight Khaya Mlata, and he's taking on a big step up against Siboniso Gonya. Now Gonya, you'll remember years ago, challenged Zolani Tete for the bantamweight WBO world title. He got knocked out in 11 seconds. I think it's still a record of the first fight Tete through, but he had to do something to get to that level. He had a good win in Namibia for the WBO international, intercontinental title. Who can remember, with all his belts? And he's since lost a few, but he's also won his last fight in a 10-rounder. So it's a much more experienced opponent for Mlata. It's an opponent that's fought at a much higher level. So it's a big but manageable step up for Khaya Mlata. So what is going to happen here? I don't know. I think Khaya Mlata should prevail by decision, but it's a very dangerous fight for him. He's up against the experience of Gonya. Guys, please remember, smack that like button if you're so inclined. And then we also have an interesting undercard where we're going to see the return at welterweight of Boyd Allen against Joga, and we're also going to see Dylan Prosser as well as Dylan Solomon's popular local fighters. Well, that's it from me, guys. I'll see you at the Cabo Beach Club. I'll be there just before 7 on Saturday. And enjoy the boxing. Come say hello as always. And please support local boxing here in Cape Town. Please support Insane Promotions. They're doing a good job here promoting the sport, along, of course, with Jackie Bryce Boxing Promotions, a previous couple of shows. Let's support these promoters and let's get ourselves over there and fill the venue. So that's it from me. Please share the content so we can get some people in there. Please remember to subscribe. And until I see you again, remember to keep those hands up.